Hey, you, how are ya? Listen, okay. So I remember the moment in my life where I felt really powerfully that little call. It reminds me of the movie The Adjustment Bureau, right? It's like life is calling you. So I was in the middle of a performance review at a big multinational company, and I couldn't make it through the performance review. It's like my mind thought, because I didn't have a reference point, that it was because if I heard one more acronym, I was going to flip. But it really wasn't that, because in TWA, the Wide Awakening, we use acronyms all the time. It definitely wasn't the acronyms. It was actually that I knew that I wasn't meant to be there anymore. And I was just doing what I was supposed to do. I was doing what I was told. I was doing what university told me. I was doing what my dad told me. I was just not following me. So I literally left my job in the middle of the performance review, even though it wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. So that sense of urgency is like this feeling every time you slow down, sometimes when you're moving really fast, but you know it's the wrong direction. You might feel this feeling of, oh, oh. And sometimes you feel a feeling that's really expansive. It's more like a feeling of, it's time. You don't even know what it's time for. So this is really important to share. You might have some friends that want to hear this too. Yeah, so feel free to pass this message on. It's a thing. That calling is a thing. So if you can come with me just for a second, I won't be long. Before you got here, you had all these skills and all these lifetimes of different things that you had done, and you developed personality traits, and you always knew that at some point humanity was going to, there was going to be some kind of a breaking point where humanity was going to want to wake up to the truth of who we are, to get into the harmonic flow that we were meant to be. And in all of those lifetimes, those skills that you've developed, those personality traits, have been waiting for this particular lifetime where you get to come and you get to shine your light. You get to actually finally express that piece of the puzzle of heaven on earth that you are without needing to squelch it. And in fact, not only do you get to do that, but the benefit to the entire planet is that you play out your piece of the puzzle and everyone else plays out their piece. And all of a sudden, this symphony orchestra starts with beautiful music together. It reminds me of a video that we posted on Facebook the other day about this group of women, Palestinian women and Jewish women in Israel, decided to get together, thousands of them, and go on a parade for peace because they were just done with all the fighting. Fascinating, isn't it? And so they found new best friends everywhere. They had a calling, they had a sense that something else was possible. So it doesn't mean you start a movement. Maybe it's your own personal movement of just getting on with doing some things that your heart is called to, having conversations, meeting with old friends. It doesn't matter. But that sense of urgency inside is not some small little thing. In fact, as you can see from the women who organized that march, sometimes it can be a really world changing thing. So I felt that calling, and I can tell you right now, if someone had told me when I was, a teenager, that that seeing holographically and assisting people to integrate with their superpowers was going to be my job, I would have laughed you right out of the room. And it's amazing when you just start showing up how the perfect things happen in perfect order if you just show up in the moment to follow the threads, the breadcrumbs. So, and that takes skill too. And I always love teaching you those superpowers that allow you to follow those skills, follow those breadcrumbs without doubt. So, alrighty, if you're ready to go, and by the way, definitely definitely come. Go and register at thewideawakening.com/get out intro for our free webinar about changing your magnetics, and absolutely tell some friends. It's going to be powerful. So I'm going to follow my thread today. I'm going to follow that calling, that subtle calling today. How about you? All right, big hugs. Have a great rest of your day. Mwah!